You're tuned in to the Kansas City Weather Report, your daily source for the latest local forecast right here in KC. Whether you're planning your commute, weekend barbecue, or just trying to figure out if you need that extra layer, Wes has you covered. So let's dive into today's forecast.
Welcome to the Kansas City Weather Report. I'm meteorologist Wes Peary. Today is Monday, February 23rd, and here's what's up with the weather. Today is the last day in this whopping 4-day stretch of legitimately winter cold conditions. At least the sun will be out all morning long. It'll start to get covered up by some high clouds later on today. But it's still going to be a nice little, this is like a January day actually. This is more January-ish than February-ish. Out the door this morning, it probably feels like about zero. Give or take a couple of degrees on either end of zero, which means -2 to 2, the wind chill. Temperatures by lunch near 25. And since the wind is calming down, it may actually feel like about 25 for lunchtime. But if the wind picks up, it'll make it feel 5 degrees cooler. This is nothing really crazy, okay? It's just a cold, sunny day. You got it. You can do this. You've done it before. Dinner time, it's about 32 degrees, and then temperatures hold steady near about 30 overnight into Tuesday morning. The clouds really thicken up on Tuesday. The wind kicks in as well, gusts 30 to 40 miles per hour out of the south. It may be one of those days in which it's so cloudy that it doesn't feel as warm as it could be because the wind and the cloud cover help offset the temperatures, trying to get into the 60s. I'm thinking we'll be close to 60 for a high on Tuesday, but the clouds are just going to be too thick and will stop us. Wednesday, we'll get some sunshine by the morning. Temperatures near about 55 degrees for the high there after a decent start, like 35 on Wednesday. So 35 Wednesday and 35 on Wednesday morning and 55 in the afternoon. Thursday, it's near 60 and the sun comes out by the afternoon. There is a chance of rain Wednesday night into Thursday. I think rain chances at this point are up to about 50%. It's looking like a pretty good bet that we'll get some rainfall coming through after 9 p.m. Wednesday night, but it should be dry for the daytime on Wednesday and Thursday. Again, both days highs, like 55 to 60-ish degrees. Friday, it is near 70. It's a breezy day, it's a sunny day, and we're pushing 70 degrees. Should be a great way to start off the weekend. We'll get a cold front coming through around midday on Saturday. So on Saturday around lunchtime, it might be 55 degrees, and then in the afternoon, it starts to quickly turn colder. And by dinner time on Friday, it may feel like it's about freezing outside. And then temperatures continue to fall into Sunday morning down to the 20s with wind chills near 15. Now Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, those are the first 3 days of March. And it's looking like another little spell here of cold air. And it's also seeing hints, or rather, I'm also seeing some rather consistent hints over the last 24, 36 hours of getting some wintry weather in that 3-day time span of Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So that'll be next Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. It would help if the snow came through overnight because the afternoons we still may manage to get above freezing. But that's it. Hopefully we can get some snow out of that. Because while it did end up snowing on Saturday morning, it didn't accumulate to anything other than a trace. Not even a dusting. Nothing. It technically snowed, but there's no accumulation. And then next Tuesday and Wednesday, that would be March 3rd and 4th, we'll try to get back up into the 40s and into the 50s. But thankfully, I guess, like personally speaking, thankfully that whole week of like March 1st through 7th is decently active, trying to get some sort of precip to slide through here will eventually happen during that first week. Like there's too much going on and too much coming through for us to get missed every single time for the first week of March. By the way, the temperature forecast and the precipitation forecast for March is out, and wouldn't you know it, the forecast for March is to be warmer than average. And the average high on March 1st is 49. By the end of the month, it's 61. So it's going to be a nice, warm March the way things are looking. That doesn't mean it can't snow. That doesn't mean it won't be cold. It just means there will be more days that are above average than days that are below average. In terms of the precipitation outlook, the good old equal chances. Could be wetter, could be drier, don't know. Can't tell. So the warm outlook makes a ton of sense the way the winter has been going. And technically, March 1st is meteorological spring because in the meteorological world, we break it down, the 4 seasons up into 3 evenly spaced months. March, April, May are spring. Now you know. Okay, recapping the forecast. Cold this morning, about 35 this afternoon. Near 60 on Tuesday, called 55 to 60 on Tuesday, and cloudy. Near 55 for Wednesday and Thursday. Near 70 for Friday. Don't forget about the chance of rain. Wednesday night into Thursday morning. 70 for Friday. About 55 for Saturday afternoon. Getting cooler by the evening. 30s for highs on Sunday and Monday, getting back into the 40s and 50s for next Tuesday and Wednesday, and watching that period for the first several days of March to maybe get some snow or some rain to slide on through. Thank you so much for joining me for this edition of the Kansas City Weather Report. You can find me on social media at West Weather. Have a good one.